Hi everyone. The last time I did an art journal, like a page review flip through, I did this journal. So today I'm going to flip through this one. I'm going to do the first flip just to music for those who just like to watch that part. But then on the end of it, I will go ahead and do a little bit of talking through the pages. Okay, so for those of you who want to hear a little bit about the pages, I will try to go through these pretty quickly. I like to use scraps and off prints and things that I paint and cut out. So this was actually cut out and glued on. This was painted with gouache. I also like to use the little flare pens to journal and then get them wet, and the journaling will just kind of disappear. I like to write things I hear in television shows, movies, books I listen to, that type of thing. I do to-do lists, and I even take notes for myself. This is a game that the kids and I, my grandchildren and I play. So much fun. If you have kids who are anywhere from around 5 to 10, Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza is a great little card game. A lot of fun. Let's see what else. Oh, this is a piece of art. Maddie doesn't really journal in my journals that much anymore because she has her own journals now. She has, kind of grown up and graduated into doing her own thing. Logan will still come in sometimes and use my journals, but Maddie usually has her own. Nothing to say about this. It's all there. This was a remake of a drawing I did. Actually, there was another one. I passed it already. Every once in a while I'll go back and revisit something. So I think from like 2015 I did a broken crayon still color face that looked similar to this. Sometimes I just like nature and sometimes I just like quite abstract stuff. Again, these are all like little just leftover cut off bits of paper, and I just kind of glue them down and then build a page from them. Probably one of my most favorite ways to build a page when I'm not in the mood, to really do faces. Although obviously I'm in the mood to do faces a lot. And yes, I do journal my real, like thoughts and ideas and opinions, my truths. My art journaling for me really is a way of working through any kind of daily life things, whether it be stress, anxiety, or maybe it's just trying to figure out my thoughts on something, and it can be minor. It can be my thoughts on a recipe that I just did. This was me just drawing from real faces out of magazines, and this used to be my daughter's favorite perfume. I don't think she wears it anymore, but I cut it out and I actually included the little scent thing. I just have this sort of taped washi tape down with little bits of washi tape, but you can actually open it and smell the perfume. I love to do that. I also scent my journals quite often. Anyone who has received packages from me in the mail realize that there's like always a scent in my studio. I'm very big on essential oils and that type of thing. This was another one of those faces that I drew from a magazine, and I can't remember if I think this one was a Patreon lesson. I don't think this one was. I was just repeating that process again. And I like to journal women who are not technically models, but whose faces do appear in the magazines or in the news, or even sometimes just off of Instagram if I see someone whose face I think has like really great character. This, I was practicing a technique that I was going to be teaching in my Patreon, and this was an ode to my friend Linda, who sent me this adorable paper napkin with all these beautiful kitties. And for those of you who haven't just happened upon this channel and you know a bit about me, you know that I rescue animals, specifically cats. I also TNR, which is a program where you take stray or feral cats off of the streets and you have them spayed and neutered, and then you return them back to their home environment, wherever it is that they came from. Now, I will try to adopt out any animals that I think are adoptable, but often the ones that I end up trapping are ferals, and they're generally not babies, so they're kind of like they've had a taste of freedom. They don't want to come live in your house. But sometimes they do. Sometimes they're like, oh hey, a home for me, I'm cool with that. So yeah, I try to do the best that I can for these animals, because many of them have been let down by humanity, by humans, by us. We do that to animals. Anyway, I won't get on a rant. This was a lesson for my patrons, and this was just because I loved this dress and I was reading about the Queen of Dragons. This was also a lessons for my patrons. This was just me playing around. I did a completely different hairstyle, and I liked it, but it wasn't working for me, so I simply grew it until it was closer to her head and came out like this, and I just kept going until it satisfied me. This was a spin off of something that I did for a lesson, but not a lesson. Another spin off of something that I did for a lesson, but not the actual lesson itself. Someone once said to me on YouTube, who do you think you are? And I seem to always kind of come back to that, because I think that was like, I don't know, very, not only misogynistic, but it came from another woman, so it was also very, like, hey, you little, piece of trash, who do you think you are? And it fuels the fire to continue to create and show that, I'm me, that's who I am, that's me, it's me, me, bitch, it's me. Oops, I cussed, darn it. Anyway, I do just like to play with abstract, and I like to include a lot of texture in that. It's something I've done for a long time. Again, I do still love to paint and draw pottery that I see on Instagram. I can't help myself. My new favorite thing, though, is to watch little tips and tricks for woodworking, and they're so clever. These guys are so clever. I love watching it. Also too, I did just finish this one this morning, and I gave her violet colored eyes, and I've never done that before, and I super like them, or at least maybe I've done it before and I didn't realize it, probably, but I super love her violet colored eyes. I don't know how well they're picking up on camera, and I do not have autofocus on, because autofocus on my camera is very rude and obnoxious. And that's the last page I have finished. I do have one more page, but it's just kind of a work in progress, so I won't show you that yet. But that is the state of things in this journal. And you know, as I have said in the past, I love to work in 2 journals at a time. I try not to separate myself into a lot of journals, because I am definitely the type of personality where I would start it and then not touch it again for 6 months, because I would set it aside and that type of thing. So in order to sort of keep me going in an orderly fashion, because I do kind of like that, I like a journal to sort of be consistent in the dates, I guess you would say, that are in it. We all have our weird things, don't we? Anyway, so I can show you that obviously this one has gotten a little, let's see, no, you know what? They're darn near even, aren't they? Yeah, so I pretty much am doing about 2 double-page spreads a day, pretty much. On average, although I am also, the longer I have been art journaling now, the more likely I am to spend more time on a page, and the more likely I am to go back and revisit pages until they fully satisfy me. So I do spend a little more time on them than I typically would have in the past. In fact, in the past, I would sit down and in an hour and a half, I would have a complete double-page spread. I have many videos on YouTube and Patreon that are like that. And I still do that for lessons, but when I'm just working in my journals for myself, I tend to take a little bit more time, enjoy it, enjoy each page a little more than I did before. But I think that's probably just part of the evolution that, we as art journal artists kind of go through. We sort of, have different paths, and sometimes you're on this path and sometimes you're on that path, right? I think that's everything that I have going on that I want to share for my page review. So I'll see you in another video soon, I'm sure. I hope you are having a good life and a wonderful day.